Will be now read a second time, and I call the member for Bendigo.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Well, this is another shocker budget that hits regional communities, particularly in Central Victoria, incredibly hard. Unfortunately, the press release that I put out post-budget, it was very similar to last year's press release and the year before. Another shocker budget by the Liberal National Government that makes ordinary, everyday Australians, working Australians, pay more, do more of the heavy lifting, while again this government and this Prime Minister give their mates in big business another handout and another tax cut. This budget is unfair, and it doesn't matter how many times the Prime Minister and his ministers say fairness, this budget is not. It is unfair. It delivers more handouts to multinationals and millionaires whilst hurting every Australian family, including many in my own electorate of Bendigo. And people in Bendigo are frustrated. They're frustrated by how this budget has failed to deliver for them and our community. And in a couple of key areas. When we look at rail, this government, despite all of their rhetoric about investing in Infrastructure Australia and regional rail, did not commit money to partnering with the state government to upgrade the Bendigo-Echuca line. The audacity for the member of Murray to stand up and make a 90-second statement yesterday about how great the budget was, but did not mention and failed to mention funding that's needed right now to upgrade the Bendigo to Echuca line. Echuca, of course, is in the member for Murray's electorate. If you want to help the people of your community to get to Melbourne right now, you'd think the government would have invested in that line. Instead, what we had post-budget was the Minister for Infrastructure, the member for Gippsland, turn up in Bendigo, and he didn't go to a train line. No, he turned up at the Bendigo airport to talk about rail. Maybe this is the reason why they're a little bit confused about infrastructure. They're turning up at airports to talk about rail. Or maybe it's he didn't want to be confronted by rail users at the Bendigo train station about their lack of investment in the regional rail network. This budget as well hits a lot of working people in Bendigo by asking them to pay more tax. Someone who's earning $65,000 will be expected under this government to pay an extra $325 in tax in 2 years' time. Now, $65,000 is higher than the median wage in my electorate. We are an electorate where people do work hard, but they don't earn a lot, like most regional electorates. We have our median wage in our area is about $50,000. And all of these people will be expected, these families will be expected to pay more in tax. As I've said, this budget fails the fairness test, and Australians can never trust this government to be able to deliver a fair budget. It fails the jobs test. Unemployment is going up, underemployment is spiking, and wages are flatlining. So we have a revenue problem in this country, yet rather than addressing the measures and introducing reform that would help to increase wages in a sustainable way, this government again is doing nothing and allowing wages to fall in some sectors and wages overall in our country to flatline. It fails the health test and the Medicare test. This government is reversing the unfair cuts to Medicare for 3 years. Just after the federal election, I held my own series of roundtables in the Bendigo electorate to discuss with people about their fears. They are scared about the rising costs of healthcare, and they are angry and upset at the way in which this government is undermining Medicare, the universal healthcare safety net. On average, people in the Bendigo region are paying $21 out of pocket to see a GP. Out of pocket. Bulk billing rates in our area are stalling. There is one bulk billing practice left in the 100% bulk billing practice left in the postcode 3550. Some other practices bulk bill children only, and some others bulk bill children and concession card holders. But when we surveyed not just patients but clinics, we discovered that on average of the 23 surveyed in the 3550 postcode, patients were paying $21 out of pocket. Now, it may not sound like a lot to a millionaire, but to people in Bendigo and Central Victoria where they are on low wages or fixed incomes, $21 just to see a GP is a